so based on that, right? So we know based on our conversation is like, don't, the destination, you're never going to get there. You're always going to be, there's new levels to this, that you're always going to have stuff going on. How do you find yourself being most efficient? Like, what is there a structure like to get things done, especially someone who has multiple companies, day-to-day life, you have family, how do you unlock your flow state, or you're like being most efficient? Because everybody has the same amount of hours in a day. We also, sometimes you got to have side gigs, whatever you're doing, you have family, and people have these dreams. But I've found in my experience that people don't understand, especially when you have big dreams or you're in a very tough industry. Mm-hmm. I feel like people don't understand how much hard work it takes to get there. So number one, they either like bail early, or based on that, they don't allow themselves to be happy in the journey of getting there, but they're also not being as efficient as they could to actually get to where they want to go.
Yeah, I have two answers to that. Because I'm not the most efficient person. I am a hyphenate. I do a lot of things, and I don't always do them efficiently. Right now, there are probably 6 people who are going, why hasn't he answered my thing? And where's that thing he promised me he'd give me, et cetera. So my advice to myself is always try to do the hardest things first. Because usually in life and in business, the things we enjoy and we're good at, we put all our focus there, doing those things. Because it feels good to do it. And then we let these things that are hard or aren't in our wheelhouse stack up. So in terms of efficiency, make a list of the things that I have to accomplish today. And I rate them A, B, and C. A being the things that are hard and important and might take a lot of effort and aren't going to feel good when I do it. Got to drop that client today. What I tend to do, and what many people tend to do, is I want to go to the C list. You don't forget to write that song, and, buy that new shirt and do those things, etc. So we busy ourselves so much with the C list that we go, oh, I didn't have time to get to the A thing.
Do it tomorrow. Yeah.
And then we do it tomorrow and tomorrow, because that A list stays A and a new list of C's, and we go, oh, I'm going to dig into that. So in terms of efficiency, do the hard things first. Keep prioritizing the things that you don't want to do, you don't feel like it's your strength, you don't feel like it's going to be comfortable, you feel like it's going to take a lot of effort. Get those things done. And, I have this little phrase that I started on a New Year's years ago, which is, do it now, do it correctly, and reward yourself when you finish with those A things. Don't put it off. Do it now. And don't slough it off. Do it with all you've got. And then reward yourself. Okay, now I'm going to watch the Laker game. In fact, I'm not going to watch the Laker game until I finish the A list. Then I've got incentive. And slowly, by the way, those things on the A list become Bs, because I see that they're not so hard to do.
Yeah, once they're over.
So that's number one. Number two is, I don't think you can ever be too small or too broke to have an assistant. It just helps to have a team.
It's a game changer.
Ain't it? And, because even if you're not making a lot of money, et cetera, there's a college student in your area who could use an extra $40 a week.
Yeah.
Just to put in 3 hours a week organizing your blah, 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 or doing research for your blee, 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 or whatever it is. Sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where we just need a hand. And you give value for that. So even if your assistant only works 2 hours a week, that's 2 hours where you can say, will you take care of this stuff so that I can focus on these efficiency things? That was a big lesson for me. I have an assistant now who I don't know how I lived without her.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
Yeah. And the reason she's brilliant is that I don't have to tell her what to do. She tells me what to do. She called me this morning and said, you got to be at Mark's studio at noon, and you know you got to call this number. I'll put it in your calendar, etc. Because I'm not good at those things.
Yeah.
So when you find your team, that team is worth its weight in gold. Some people think, oh, why am I spending all this money on Charles when I could push that button myself? No, you can't. You can't bring what Charles brings.
Absolutely. My first assistant I ever hired, it was in the middle of the pandemic, and I was like, okay, I don't know if I can or whatever, but just, found somebody, put an ad out on LinkedIn. Within the first week, I was like, how did I ever do anything? And you just become so much more efficient that you get to where you want to go sooner, or you start making things happen. So yeah, that's a life changer. I love the list as well.